Okay, so let's talk about the dynamic symmetry section of this project and dividing the square and the rectangle into one of the many forms, and there are many out there, different types of dynamic symmetry armatures. And as an armature, what the name implies is that it's a skeletal under background structure, right? That you then apply your drawing on top of. So it's kind of like the structure of a poem or the structure of the architecture that all the other pieces fall in line with. And what this process does is divide whatever shape you're doing into equal increments that then reflect the shape of the whole. So we begin with the finding the halfway point, which is again corner to corner. This divides it into a halfway point. So now, if you have a clear ruler, you put your pen on the middle point, line up the lines along the bottom and top. And that gives you a little mark there, a little mark there. That finds the halfway of this end and the top and bottom. And then let's do it again for the left and right. And from there we connect our corners to those halfway points. So that gives us this kind of interesting start. So let's also do top and bottom. So everywhere lines cross, these are known as eyes or nodes. And those become important markers in terms of measurements. Now let's draw a counter corner square along these 4 points. And that finishes it. So that's the basic structure I want you to try to draw on the square and on the rectangle. So let's look at some of the points that it pulls out. If you have, let's see here. Alright, so if we look at this node here and its counterparts here and here, and we draw those lines, connect those lines together, those nodes with lines, that is. A little bit crooked there. That one's a little sloppy, but you're not expected to draw these lines. I'm just showing you what the purpose is here. So what did that do? By connecting these nodes, here, 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 and here, we divided it into 3 by 3. So you might be familiar with that with a compositional strategy known as the rule of thirds, which you line something up on one of these third sections. Usually pretty popular with photography. Alright, so if we look at this node here and here, and its counterparts on the other part sections, let's connect those up and see what we get. What did that do? That divided into 5s by 5. So that's fifths. Here we have the half, one half and another half, top and bottom, which also divides it into quarters. But if we also use this node, and its other counterparts, that divides our square into quarters. So 4 by 4. And then I think the last one I'll show you is from this node here. Here, here, here. So what happens if we line these up? So technically this should be showing the line with that green one there. This one shares it with the green one. And we're sharing it with the blue one as well. So you can start to see what this is dividing that into. 6. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And if you finish those going across, that's that one there. It shares it with the green, shares it with the blue, shares it with the green. And then we add this one here. And that gives us the 6 by 6. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So that just shows us how to be able to divide up. And this works on any parallelogram. So anything that has the left and right that are parallel and tops and bottoms that are parallel. So it could be slanted like this, or it could be a rectangle. Any of those shapes will work, and this will evenly divide it to create into either thirds. Here we have thirds. 1, 2, 3. Or fifths. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Do the sixths, and then the quarters. So let's do those down here. 1, 2, 3, and 4. So 1, 2, 3, 4. So it shows you an easy way to be able to evenly divide up your parallelograms without having to do any kind of math. All you need is a ruler and a pen.